Let's put second group up there. How many heavens are there? What is the third heaven? What is heaven like? Is heaven fluffy clouds, harps, white robes, never-ending church service, etc.? Yeah, I'm glad y'all think that's funny. I was like, why did they have to throw in the never-ending church service in there? All right. Answer number 2. Yes, it's a never-ending church service. Get used to it. Now, heaven is in fact a real place and much more than fluffy clouds, harps, white robes, and a never-ending church service, which I don't have a problem with. The confusion for some on how many heavens there actually are comes from Paul's account in 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 1 to 9, where he was called up into a third heaven. But what is this third heaven, and how many heavens are there in the Bible? The Bible tells us the first heaven we talk about is called the sky or the firmament. This heaven contains the clouds and the rainbows. It's the air the birds fly in, planes fly through. This is the first heaven we see in Scripture. The second heaven that we see in Scripture is what we refer to as outer space, beyond our atmosphere. This second heaven is where the sun, the stars, the planets, the moons, and the galaxies are. This is the heaven that we see talked about in Genesis chapter 1, verse 14 to 18. It says, "And God said, let there be lights in the expanse of the heaven to separate the day from the night, and let them be for signs, for seasons, and for days and years. And let them be lights in the expanse of the heavens," there's that word again, "to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And God made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night, and the stars," it says. "And God set them," listen, "in the expanse of the heavens," this second heaven, "to give light on this earth, to rule over the day and over the night, and the separate light to rule over the darkness. And God said, it is good." So that's the second heaven. What was the third heaven? That's the big question that Paul was called up into. Let me tell you what I believe. The third heaven that Paul was called up into was the place where God dwells and God's glory is made manifest. I believe that Paul was called up into the same third heaven where Jesus is preparing for us a room right now for all who believe. This third heaven is the believer's home after physical death. So the first heaven is our atmosphere. The second heaven, outer space. The third heaven is the real, actual place where God dwells. So for us, 3 heavens, but really only one heaven, which is the one I believe was being spoken about in 2 Corinthians chapter 12. Fluffy clouds, spaces, don't see that anywhere in Scripture. But if you want to know about streets of gold and pearly gates, come back. That was a question that was asked.